This is a quick overview of AutoCAD 2016. I'm just going to start off with the basic interface and work on from there. So this black space in front of us here, this is our drawing area, our workspace if you would. We've got a whole series of icons at the top. With our Draw tab, this enables to kind of start off objects. Modify tab is for kind of adjusting them. Annotation tab is pretty straightforward. It's for adding extra detailing information. We have our layers tab. This helps separate out our drawing and make it more kind of manageable. It's a lot of beginner kind of a lot of users who start off just kind of ignore this, and it's perhaps one of the more important parts of your drawing because it can really add to your kind of the efficiency of your work. Blocks are for kind of inserting kind of previously made AutoCAD drawings as kind of a wanna. Properties of an object. You can change the size and colour of these. Be careful not to change the colour here, thinking it's a layer, so don't get confused with that one. Groups, utilities, clipboard, and view. Yeah, we're going to leave those out for now. At the bottom down here, sometimes you may end up in a space like a white space, like this. This is a layout space. You can jump back to your model space by clicking this model button here. So that flicks between the two. I'll explain that later on. These big numbers down here, these are our coordinates. So when we're moving our cursor around, the world we're inhabiting here is a kind of a vector-based landscape, if you would. It's a bit like walking around on a map, and we're drawing map lines, and each of those map lines has a certain coordinate, like we do in this current world. So this is our kind of longitude and latitudinal location. This model tab here, this is the same information as these two here. It kind of describes where it is. And then we have this lot, which are various different kind of modes that we can go into. So if you hold the cursor over an icon, it gives you a description, and it also gives you the shortcut afterwards. So in here we have the ortho mode, which restricts our line drawings to kind of vertical and horizontal movements, and the shortcut for that is F8. Yep. There we go. All sorts. Annotation tools. We'll come to that later. Workspace switching. What's this? I don't know what that is. Okay. So to kick off drawing with a basic line, what we can do is we can go in the line tool here. Click there. Click on that once. It comes up in our command prompts. This is perhaps our most important part of the screen. This is kind of the brain of the computer, of this program. It tells you what's happening, and it asks you and tells you what to do. So we have a line. This is telling us it's our line tool that we're in, and it's asking us to specify our first point. So we move over to our workspace. I'm going to click on this, on the workspace there, to start the first point. Just move it across, and where you're happy with it in the next point, just click off there, and that will end that line. It'll ask us if we want to specify a next point. Do we want to carry on the line? So you can carry on. If you want to stop, there's two ways of stopping. We can hit escape to come out of the command, and that will stop, or we can press enter, and that will also stop. So escape and enter will end that for us. Another way of entering the command, because if you're moving from your workspace up to your line tool buttons or your draw tool buttons at the top here, we're using lots of kind of mileage there. So what I encourage students to do is use the keyboard shortcuts. So L is the keyboard shortcut for the line tool. So if you touch L on the keyboard and press either the space bar or enter. I use the space bar because it's easy just to have your thumb on the space bar and then use your fingers on the keyboard. So L and space bar, that'll enter us into the line tool. we can draw a series of lines. Some of you may have noticed we get an extra option down here for C to close or U to undo. U undo will undo the previous line entered, or C to close will close up to the first point drawn. So if you're coming to the end of your drawing, and you want to just close it up, just hit C to close. We can also, when going into the line tool, so go into the line tool, L, then spacebar. We can start a line off, pull it into a direction, and we can type in a distance. So we can type in 1,000, press enter. That length there will be 1,000 units one. Okay, so hang on here. This line is not exactly straight. It's a bit wonky. How do we straighten our lines up? So we can go down to our ortho mode. Ortho mode is the one we hold down. Press F8 on our keyboard. That pops us into ortho mode. And you'll see now we're constricted to the verticals and horizontals. I'm going to pop in 500 there, 500 units. Come across 200 units. And however hard you try, 200 again, 200. It's only going to pull off at a horizontal or vertical. Very handy when we're drawing kind of straight walled buildings. It's kind of what I'd encourage students to use most of the time. I think that's about it, really. We'll leave it there for the time being, and good.